where you will find health solutions to set you free from the overwhelm of diet culture and frustration with the ever-changing health rules. Let's go beyond the calorie and diet dogma to equip you to be healthy through simple changes to real food, mindset, and lifestyle. Hey, I'm Jolene. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, wife, furry guardian, and non-bendy yogi. Like you, I spent years chasing skinny instead of health. I finally learned that I needed to take a holistic approach to health and give my body what it needed to thrive. So if you're ready to take back your health one simple step at a time for results that are undeniable, like more energy, improved mood, better sleep, and fat loss, this is the podcast for you. Pop in those headphones, take a deep breath, and let's get healthy. Hey there. Let's dive into the path to a healthy metabolism. You see, over the years, I've had a crappy metabolism, just like you. I thought my metabolism sucked. And I developed a system and a path of steps to get to the other side, to get to an efficient metabolism. When we have an efficient metabolism, we are healthier. When we are healthier, we have a more efficient metabolism. They kind of all go hand in hand. But there's certain things you need to do in this path to get there. And they are ongoing things. It's not a one and done. I do this and now I'm good. Building a healthy metabolism and maintaining a healthy metabolism and maintaining health in general requires you doing new things. Requires you switching lifestyles over to focus on your health, to nourishing your body for what it needs during this period of time. And it will change. Times change, lifestyle changes, things happen. We need to be okay with pivoting. But when you know what these 3 steps are, you can go to them to figure out what you need to do right then and there. What is lacking, what needs to be adjusted. So let's dive in. The first step, which is truly the first step, and I cannot emphasize this enough, I actually did a whole episode on it, is building a solid foundation of health. And then reevaluating that foundation to make sure it's still working for you. Are you eating whole foods? Have you slipped in a lot more processed foods than you were eating? Is that why things aren't going the way they were when, a year ago when you started this journey? Staying hydrated. Certain times of the year, it's easier to get dehydrated. Are you staying hydrated? Are you getting enough sleep for what you need now? You might need more sleep now or less sleep now, but are you getting enough good quality sleep? And moving your body. Are you moving it to your body's capability and what it needs now? In my 20s, I was a bodybuilder. Okay, a wannabe bodybuilder. But I worked out a lot. I couldn't do that now. My body couldn't sustain that. It would be a stress to make me ill at this point. So learning the foundations of what your body needs right now. What foods does it need to support whatever's going on in your life? Whatever's going on with your health. That's the foundation. Getting in those real foods. Making sure you're eating foods that support you now. Staying hydrated, that's always going to be one. Getting enough sleep and moving your body. Those are the basic foundations. Before we step into the other 2 steps of the path, get your foundations in order. Reevaluate them. Reevaluate them often. Make sure that you're hitting those foundations and that you're adjusting as your body needs. We build food tolerances pretty easy when we eat the same foods over and over again. Are you getting enough diversity in what you're eating? Look at the whole picture to make sure you are building that foundation for what you need now. It will change. The basics are still the same, but they might need tweaking. The foods you're eating might need tweaking. Staying hydrated might need tweaking depending on, you might be working out more. You might move to a humid climate. You might be traveling more. You might be in air conditioning more. All of that needs tweaking. Sleep and moving your body. Okay, so you got the foundations, you're working on them, you're always evaluating them, and you're always building this solid foundation. Now the next 2 steps can be used together at the same time, separately, whatever it is. one of them is going to go in and out, and the other one is something like a foundation you're going to constantly build in. So let's hit those. So the other step that is like a foundation, where it's something you have to constantly work on, is diversification. At least that's what I call it. The step of diversification is addressing the giant ecosystem that we call your gut health. You see, your gut health affects your overall health in every aspect. It is your second brain. It will affect your mental health, your physical health. Almost every form of disease has some form of gut health issue. Whether the gut health issue came first or the disease came first, they're still studying all that. They can't even tell you that yet. But it has a gut health issue, and when you work on the gut health, your symptoms will get better. So, gut health is one of those things that is never ending. It's really easy to get your gut in dysbiosis, meaning it's out of balance, especially if you're one that were taught to throw probiotics and take the same probiotic day in and day out for months at a time. You're only feeding it certain strains. You are not diversifying your gut health. Our energy burns from our gut health. So we want to have a very healthy, happy gut. So you want to give it things to feed your gut health, to weed out the bad stuff and feed the good stuff. And then plant some seeds too. There is a whole episode on gut health. I will refer you back to that as well, to go a little bit more into the details of how to build a healthy gut. But we want to constantly work on the diversification of our gut health, because it is the key to a healthy metabolism. There are things that live in our gut that will tell us to burn more energy or save more energy. Or there's actual gut bacteria that will squish out every last bit of sugar out of fiber, which it shouldn't be, because that is a dysbiosis. So we don't want too much of that, if any at all, but we want a nice balance. So we want to make sure that we are keeping our overall gut healthy. Now, the other step, which is a tool to go in and out of, or it's several tools to go in and out of, and I call that step manipulation. By using the body's adaptive nature, we are going to manipulate things so that our body adapts to them to help improve our metabolism and make it work more efficiently. These are just tools in your toolbox. These are not long-term lifestyle. These are things you should fluctuate in and out of. Because just like the body can adapt to the improvement, it'll adapt and sit there, and then we end up with a problem. So we want to make sure that we're fluctuating in and out of things and letting the body never really adapt to anything, especially if we're in a phase that we need to lose a little weight or lose some fat, or we're trying to tone. All of those, we need to know that we need to take breaks within any manipulation we do so that our body doesn't truly adapt and have some metabolic issues as a result. So what exactly are these tools? The first one would be, obviously, becoming a fat burner. Make sure your body still has the ability to burn fat if you've already developed it. So making sure your body can tap into that fat as fuel, hopefully becoming metabolically flexible. The next one would be something called a reverse diet, which scares a lot of people. But if you have been eating lower and lower calories to try to reach your goal or maintain your weight, it's time to take a step back. And when I talk about reverse dieting, I do not want you to start binging on junk food or foods that are not good for your body. I want you to either slowly increase the calories till you get to a point of maintenance or slightly higher, let your body adapt, and then you can start going in and out of a calorie deficit type of situation. Unfortunately, many of us were taught for too long that when we're dieting, trying to reach a goal, all we do is restrict, and then we hit a plateau, we restrict more, and then we hit another plateau and we restrict more, till eventually we're not even eating what a toddler should eat, or we're not getting in enough nutrients. The point of taking diet breaks and reverse dieting is to give your body a chance to always adapt back up to the maintenance number, so that when you're at your healthy weight and you're at a point where you're comfortable, you can maintain it because you can eat enough food where you're not hungry. The next few steps can be used by themselves or interchangeably. It's kind of up to you. But the first one would be calorie cycling, meaning you have high days that are above maintenance and you have low days that are restrictive and very low. And the point of this is not doing the same thing every single day, so that at the end of the week, you're at a calorie deficit, because energy in does matter versus energy out. But you have done high days and low days, and your body never really has a chance to adapt. And you can do this for a little bit longer period than you would if you were eating the same amount of calories every day. So calorie cycling is beneficial, and it also will adapt to your hunger needs. So start listening to those hunger needs. Another tool is intermittent fasting. You're abstaining from food and drinking plain water, plain tea, plain coffee for either a short period of time, like your time restricted eating, you're eating in a smaller window, or you're taking some days and doing some true fasting. This gives your body a chance to reset, repair, and heal. And it's also good for a loss, but you don't want to do long fasts over and over and over and over again for long periods of time. I know there'll be people out there that'll fight me on it, and they're like, I lost a lot of weight that way. But you're also going to lose a lot of nutrients. And our goal at Holistic Health Made Simple is to make sure you get healthy and stay healthy. It is not the sole goal to get skinny quick. So balance your fasting with feasting. You need to get the nutrients and replace them that you did not get while you were fasting. Now, another thing we do as a tool is carb cycling. If you listened into the last episode on metabolic flexibility, carb cycling comes in very handy to keep you metabolically flexible. You have high carb days, you have very low carb days. You might go from a 150 gram carb day to a carnivore day where you get no carbs at all. That's up to you. But those are the tools in your toolbox. Reverse dieting, make sure that you can burn fat, calorie cycling, carb cycling, and intermittent fasting, and of course exercise. The same thing goes with exercise. Don't do the same routines day in and day out, because your muscles get used to it and you will not have any gains from that. So those are the tools for your toolbox. Those are things that you use sporadically or for certain lengths of time. You don't use them consistently except for maybe exercise. But the exercise, you want to make sure you're varying along the way. So the steps or the path to a healthy metabolism look like building a solid foundation, referring back to that foundation anytime you're struggling, readapting, and pivoting. Getting your gut healthy. I can't say that enough. Your gut health is the key to being healthy and losing weight. And the third thing is using your manipulative tools. That's where dieting comes in. Your manipulation is what we call diets. It's your biohacking. Those are your manipulations. Go from one to one to one, mix them up, use them all, whatever you need to do to get to your goals. But remember, they should be used for bursts or short bursts of time, and always return back to maintenance and balance and the foundations. If you ever need help figuring out what your body needs, how it works, what you're stuck, you can't figure out the path, you can't figure out the steps you need today, I invite you to reach out to me at holistichealthmadesimple.com. Let's book a one-on-one. I can help walk you through it and break you through where you're stuck. I hope this found you well, my friends, and until next time, bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you found value in what you heard today, I would be incredibly grateful if you could help spread the word. Sharing is caring, after all. Share the podcast with others that will find the information helpful. It's through your support that I can continue to grow and bring more amazing content. And if you have a spare moment, I would truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to me, and it also helps others discover my show. I read every review and take your suggestions to heart, so please don't hesitate to let me know what you think. Remember, you can stay connected with me by following me on Instagram or visiting the website at holistichealthmadesimple.com. I love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out, share your thoughts, ideas, and even suggestions for future episodes. See you later.